the port because they live closer to it and they see it. A lot of the Newark residents who don't live in the East Ward, they perhaps don't see it, don't even know there's a port in their community. They don't even know there's a port in Newark. And so part of our work has been to start sort of a Take Back the Port campaign and to try to raise the consciousness and awareness of the city residents that, hey, we own this land. You know, we should have a stake in it, and we should be fighting and demanding environmental and economic benefits from this land. But for the vast majority of Newark residents, they are not aware of what's sitting in their own backyard.
So what role does the school play in this education process?
It can play a very significant role because, you know, we need to get out into, you know, I mean, we've started this process, but, you know, it takes a lot of, you know, grassroots organizing. We're trying to get into the existing civic and social organizations within the city and try to educate and spread this information through them and through the schools as well. We try to take residents on these tours so they can see and open their eyes. We take a lot of young people and we say, you know, there are jobs here. You should have one of these jobs. These jobs, you know, some of the port work that's unionized, longshoremen, you know, some of these guys, they have great work, but many of those jobs are locked out of because those jobs are almost inherited. And we have to know someone to get those jobs. And so we want to crack open that system and say, you know, you have a right to dream and to think about ways in which you fit into this economy and how you demand and demand a place in this. So, you know, we try to do that little by little, but it's going to require a much broader base building throughout the city of Newark, and not just in Newark. You know, the city of Elizabeth, the city of Bayonne. We are trying to work with organizations in New York City who also have ports in their backyard in Brooklyn and in Staten Island. So there's small little fires, but we're trying to make them larger fires. So we're going over Drummond's Avenue and we're going onto this road. We're now going back into the Ironbound, and this is called Chemical Corridor on your left. You have the Passaic Valley Sewage Treatment Plant and the Newark skyline in the background. Passaic Sewage Valley treats, you know, sewage from over 28 municipalities, and they're a secondary treatment facility. They're one of the largest sewage treatment plants on the East Coast, and they take sewage sludge and sewage from all over. On the right-hand side is the Newark Bay, and when we go further up ahead, you'll see the New York City skyline, and you'll see Jersey City. This area, once known as Chemical Corridor, was home to many of the chemical and industrial plants of the city. When that manufacturing and deindustrialization occurred, what we had come in was a lot of waste and garbage industries, taking up a lot of the land. And so what we have today on the right-hand side, we have a fat rendering plant. So they take carcasses and they boil them down into into the products to make soaps and lotions. It's a very nasty business, and it's very smelly, and they operate right here on the right-hand side alongside Passaic Valley Sewage Treatment Plant. The Passaic Sewage Treatment Plant is another story of how the city of Newark is, you know, disenfranchised because, you know, we treat the waste of the entire region, and we pay one of the largest sewage bills in the state because we do not have a metered system. So we basically pay the difference of whatever else anybody else doesn't pay. We have zero representation in the Passaic Valley Sewage Treatment Plant's Board of Commissioners, which was for many, many years a patronage mill for the powers that be. So our city continues, you know, here we are, we host the largest sewage treatment plant. You know, you flush your toilet, it comes to Newark. You throw your garbage out, it comes to Newark. You want to, you know, your goods come through Newark, and the city of Newark, the residents, are paying sewer and water bills that are astronomical. So insult to injury. On the right-hand side, you see this large expanse of industrial land. It's owned by the Hess Corporation. This is going to be the future site, or proposed future site, of a natural gas plant, a 625 megawatt natural gas plant that the Governor Christie is proposing be built here. This is part of a push for cleaner energy in the state. They feel that natural gas will be cleaner, it will replace coal. You know, we believe, and if you see on the left-hand side some candy cane striped stacks, that's the Newark cogeneration plant. That's a 125 megawatt natural gas plant. and they're proposing a 625 megawatt one, which will bring an additional 1.3 million pounds of chemicals, of hazardous air pollutants into this community. So our contention has and always will be that, yes, maybe in the global scheme of things, natural gas is better than coal, but when you continually concentrate these facilities in communities that already have over 1 million pounds of toxic chemicals into the air illegally, is that the right way to go? Is that just? And we say it isn't. You're also seeing here on both sides of the street prisons.
Yeah.
So our community,
That makes sense.
Of course they are.
you know, this is where they put the people and the garbage and the things that nobody else wants. And the prisoners here, when they first moved the prison down here, many of the guards and the prison rights groups fought that because of the tremendous amount of chemical pollution and chemical plants that were down here and the extreme danger of chemical explosions that would occur here on a regular basis. Right now, the Essex County is proposing a 2,700 bed detention facility right here that would house families and children alongside the prisoners, and to make money for the county. And we are adamantly opposed. We've had several marches, several candlelight vigils, American Friends, and we have partnered with many other groups to say this is inhumane and it's unacceptable that we continue to criminalize these people who are just here trying to find a better life.
Could you speak up?
I'm sorry. So I was just saying about the detention facility, and you know, it's interesting because the last time we did a candlelight vigil around the immigration issue, around the detention facility, it was billed as an environmental justice and immigration rights, human rights vigil. And we really connected how, you know, there's an environmental exploitation alongside human exploitation that's going to occur right here in our own backyards. And it was very powerful to see those groups come together and make those issues come together. You know, on the right-hand side, you see the skyline of New York City. And you see some existing chemical plants. You hear Equistar, and we had up here you'll see another chemical plant. This area, General Chemical, this area used to be where we had a lot of chemical food and dye additive industries. If you read Aaron Schlossberg's book, Fast Food Nation, he has a chapter about those food dyes, and Doremus Avenue actually talks about this area of Newark as being the sort of the center of a lot of these companies. Well, many of them have moved away, but you still have some of those. You have a company here called Natural Flavors.
Yeah.
Very natural.
Good.